Let's have a little fun. Let's have a little fun today with the throwback graphics. Let's kick it old school here. Go into the old Badge Bros layouts, only the real ones, only the true OGs. Remember a little peek behind what the paywall stuff used to look like. GMs to everyone in the chat hanging out. Gonna do a little hoops here. Gonna do a little bit of first look NFL stuff. Do my first dog bowl of the week here. Just me today. Nez got some more moving stuff, some more family stuff going on, but we got to celebrate the community. We got to celebrate the community here with. Oh, where'd I go? Let me see. There we go. We're going to celebrate the community here. Our guy Chip and our guy Jewish McCaffrey splitting it up last night in the hoop streets for 75 each there. Love to see it. But this leaderboard absolutely littered. Look at this. RT99ing it up at the top of the leaderboard here. Chip, Max Kings is an OG who hangs out. Chris is up there. You Thoughts up there. I mean, Eggers is right there. He's hanging out in the chat, fully loaded. Seems like every night he's somewhere there. Wet Like Book, same thing, always hanging out in the Discord. I mean, it was a who's of everybody at the top of the leaderboard here, but your boy not included. But it's okay. We'll bounce back tonight. We were directionally accurate last night. Just didn't have all the combos. We had 25% Joke. We had 20% Paulo. We had not enough Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes was the downfall there, but we were all over the Jalen Johnson stuff. But we'll find our way there tonight. Walk through it all here in half a second there. But we got to talk about the big news that just dropped there. Big news just dropped. We're going to get a quarterback change. Anthony Richardson, Joe Flacco. Apparently, the Colts are serious about winning. So they're going to switch up their quarterback there. I don't know. They're not on the main slate, so have some thoughts about it when we talk the Primetime Palooza slate on Thursday there. Yeah, I'm laughing at some of the comments coming in here. Yeah, it's a throwback jerseys game tonight, Clay. You got to respect it, huh? Yeah, Mr. TD talking about the pick'em yesterday. Maybe we should start there with the pick'em lobby stuff. I really wanted to get ahead today on what I thought was going to be a Jamal Murray Q tag, and we just got a probable tag dropped in our lap on him, which I found very surprising. Not going to lie. I was thinking through, I was really thinking through how we could leverage that situation with some of the back end draft slots there. Obviously, they don't have KCP anymore. So where would some of that handling go? Would Russell Westbrook draw into the starting lineup? But it all might be a moot point because it looks like he's going to go tonight because he's got the probable tag, and that's not the Giannis probable. That's a Denver Nuggets probable, which seems a little more real there. But yeah, man, Pick'em was good for us yesterday. Could have gone a little bit better there, but yeah, it was not bad, not bad. Copper, you're always first in my heart, bro. You're always first there. Yeah, Best Ball Viper bringing it back. Only the real ones remember. Only the real ones remember some of the slides, some of the cuts there. There was also this one, this OG one. Not bad. Not bad when we were first starting out there. The badges rolling on through. This was even before the Underdog adjacent and affiliated days. So this is you got to be a real one if you knew these ones. These are way back. And then we pivoted to this one for a bit for the baseball show. Had the baseball one in there. The OG Winners Circle. This is kind of fun, like memory lane here. The OG Winners Circle, first time around. Yeah. Anyways, we'll have some fun with it. Let's talk through the slate. Let's do hoops first. I think this is a true ball knower slate, man. This is the first one of the season that's like IKB stuff. Projections have been slapping pretty hard outside of one slate, which is expected at NBA because the projection models are so good. We've been talking ad nauseum about a potential tool that's going to further enhance that coming in the future here. I think it's going to come to fruition in the next couple of weeks. So looking forward to that. But yeah, projections have been really solid thus far. But this is the first slate where I thought you could get ahead of some stuff. I'm going to switch up. I got something going on here with Let's start here. Let's start with the totals. Yeah. My NBA guys. Actually, I was just thinking about this, and I'll maybe just say my thoughts out loud because it's just something I've been thinking about recently. Is this real? Oh shit! Breaking news: Deontay to the Ravens. Wow, wow, that's kind of fun. Hopefully, that doesn't mean that the Zay Flowers ankle is a little worse than we thought. I don't think two tight ends can live now. We're gonna have to go to like 11 personnel more frequently. Have three wide receivers out there at a more high frequency, you would think. I don't know. Maybe he just fully takes over the Nelson Aguilar role. That's fun. That's fun. Evergreen reminder, don't draft him this week then. Because he's not swap eligible. He'll be swap eligible till he gets the out tag. But yeah. I agree with you. Basketball Viper, I agree with you. Does feel like a good fit, doesn't it? Possession oriented wide receiver who can also stretch the field. It sounds like they just upgraded Nelson Aguilar to me. That Bateman drop last week where they just hit him right between the numbers, 55 yards downfield, and then he pointed up to it being the Suns' fault. Yeah. Methinks Deontay Johnson comes down with that one. Yeah, this is what I just alluded to. I hope not. I hope this isn't bearish Zay Flowers, but yeah. Okay, let's talk about the hoop slate. I just wanted to say something macro right now. We've been thinking through like the upcoming schedule and stuff, and I really do like the thought of rewarding our members more than just twice a week. Um, I don't know how we're going to go about it just yet. In the past, we had done Monday, Wednesday, Friday open to everybody, and then Tuesday, Thursdays behind the paywall for the members only. Maybe we'll be adding another like hour show or another 30-minute show here and there and just do like rapid fire of like NBA slate behind the paywall. So maybe we'll do like football that is like open to everyone on a Tuesday, and then we'll do basketball behind the paywall after. Yeah, and I don't love the notion right now that our basketball at like this time slot directly overlaps with the ETR basketball, which I really respect. So there's a little something there. And that being said, that is a little bit of a conscious decision because I like to do our own NBA stuff, not to just regurgitate what they've said. So I do really like that. So maybe doing like an NBA one like we did baseball, where it's like a 30 or 40-minute one behind closed doors before this show. But anyways, just thinking this all through, putting it all out there. Let us know what you think. Let us know if that's something you'd be interested in, if that makes the membership more worthwhile in doing so. Because I do really want to continue to support the community like as best I can, and really support those who support us, right? So anyways, let's talk about the slate. Very, very interesting slate because we have some big rotational notes and we got a little bit of data to dig into because we have seen what has happened now in the first couple basketball games. And we got three teams who are presumably the best in quotations teams on this slate that are all on back-to-backs as well. So Nuggets back-to-back, Kings back-to-back, and Mavs back-to-back there. So, okay, this is interesting. Someone fill me in on what the compensation is there, Copper. Fill me in there so I don't have to look it up. So I'm gonna bring up NBA injury report. I just got a new one here. 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Here we go. So Mavs have yet to submit. It's nationally televised. I don't expect any funny stuff, but there's a non-zero chance you could find your way to a Q tag on Kyrie or Luca, but they seem fine to me. Nationally televised game, like I don't anticipate anything. That would be something maybe a little bit later in the season there, but yeah, like that's just me like reading between the lines. Jazz are on a back-to-back as well, still haven't submitted, and that one matters because Taylor Hendricks is through some injury last night. He's going to be out for the year. It was so gross. Don't go look it up. Yeah, it was actually tough to watch when I saw the clip. I just turned it off. But them and the Kings have yet to submit. And then we just got, as I alluded to, the Nuggets one, which is the Jamal probable. So Jamal had, this is interesting that the designation is right ankle, because the designation after the preseason was hamstring related. So it's maybe good that he's just completely over that. And yeah, they're kind of just like looking for something else to talk through here. Anyways, okay. The big other looming thing is what's going to happen with the Warriors here. D'Anthony Melton is out, but that's not the big one that matters. The big one that matters is that Steph Curry is out. Steph Curry tweaked his ankle, came back into the ball game, tweaked it again, and now he's out tonight. So what are we going to do with the auxiliary Golden State pieces? We saw Kerr come out and like openly state, oh yeah, I love this deep rotation we can run, 12 deep, blah, blah, blah. Well, now he can't, right? He literally can't, because he has lost some of his most premium talent, and he has lost some of his other auxiliary talent to go with it. The other one to talk through is New Orleans. DeJounte Murray broke his hand. He's going to be out for a while. Trey Murphy out there. What are we going to do with some of the minutes there? Are we going to see some small ball stuff with like Herb playing the 5 again, or do we think Theis is going to do that? Like we'll talk about this all here when I bring up the next screen there. And then what did I miss on the Nets? Oh, Simmons is out and Sharp's out, which means Claxton's minutes, where they said they were going to boost him last time out, and he only played 21 when he played 20 the night before. They're probably actually going to have to boost him tonight. So for me, thus far, attacking this slate, I have been really finding my way to Warriors stuff late and just taking shots, primarily Kuminga in like the 4th round right now. He's going to start pushing up. He's going to be a projection darling kind of thing. But just making a concerted effort to be like one of Kuminga, Pods, Trace Jackson Davis, Green in the 4th round or later, primarily in the 4th or in the 5th kind of thing. Soft fading Buddy Hield at ADP. He can kill you by just getting hot from 3. And the Warriors have played the 3rd. Winky had it in his breakdown review there. Warriors have played at the 3rd highest pace this season. Wiggins Q. I'm literally treating Wiggins out, but it Wiggins Q, if it's there in the last rounds, just take it. Almost everyone has low key him out of the lineup or out of projections right now. So maybe there's a little bit of leverage there. Just things to think through. Anyway, so that's what I've been doing thus far. The other thing is the other thing that I was thinking through in the late rounds, there was the Jamal Murray situation, and if he was limited or if he was Q tag and whatever, what would we see in terms of handling? Because no KCP with that first unit, does that mean Michael Porter Jr. would find his way to some more handling, which means his ADP would probably look bad, or would Michael Porter Jr. have more overlap with the second unit and be like the best shooter on the floor, or would Westbrook run like half and half? It was a very interesting scenario to think through, but now I don't think we're going to get that. That being said, I still don't love Jamal Murray tonight at his current ADP. I think there's just other players in that area that I feel more comfortable with than potentially getting 28 minutes out of Murray tonight in a matchup that they should take care of. That being said, spread not as large or indicative of them taking care of it, and they got off to a bad start prior to last night's overtime game against the Raptors there. Okay, a lot of words, a lot of stuff there. I think we could probably maybe just rapid fire a little game by game here. This Nets game, highest total game on the slate is this Kings Jazz game. Jazz rotation is weird because we don't know how deep they're going to go. They're always weird and they're hard to project. But marking in early and then just take shots late. Walker Kessler role has been very strong recently, the shit that we wanted last year. Claxton, I don't know who's going to run the backup 5. I imagine it's going to be Clowney with no Simmons and with no Sharp. So I really like Nick Claxton, if this game stays competitive, to play like 28 minutes. And, he's a high enough rates guy to, yeah, yeah. Hey, there's Nez saying, "What's up?" GM from there. Yes. Please like the video. Nez is begging for it so that he can feed both his dog and his child in the future. One spot that I noted in the pick'em lobbies that I liked was the Christian Brown PRA spot. I'm a little more skittish on it now that we got the Jamal Probable tag. There was a little more, room for error if we ended up getting like Jamal questionable. But if we just get him limited in any capacity, I like that one. Cam Thomas's ADP is going to be like a big point of contention. Yeah, whatever, contesting. Um, just because it's frothy, man. He scored over 30 in all 3 games this season. The usage is great. His ability to shoot is great, but if he doesn't get hot and he doesn't shoot well, then those are the nights that he sinks your lineup. So that's the kind of player that like the community and the projection models like to soft fade and push up like some more projectable volume in the second round there. I was kind of doing it to an extent. I think I had him ranked at 11 for my first 50 drafts. I also thought this was a really nice slate to get in early. I thought drafting early was a great idea here for the ball knowers, the pre-model bros, because there was just like so many moving pieces to it. Anyways, too much on that game. Mavs, T-Wolves, obviously a tough spot for the Mavs here. T-Wolves renowned for their defense, though their defense hasn't been as good as last year thus far, and Randall has been inept. They basically just swapped like one bad defender for another bad defender in Cat and Randall, but yeah, maybe potentially the ceiling defense from Randall is higher in the future here, and maybe it's just hard getting used to a complex defensive scheme to figure out. But he looked bad in the first game there. They're running super tight right now. I was looking through the popcorn machine. Free resource, guys, if you ever want to go find that one. I'll pull it up for everybody right here, and just a really clean layout of let me see where the T-Wolves one was. Sorry, bad radio. Didn't have it pulled up. When did Minnesota play last? They didn't play. They must have played on the 26th, right? Yeah. Here. So if you ever want to like do your own research or whatever, pull up the old popcorn machine here. You can walk through. You can see, who's overlapping with who or whom's overlapping with whom. Yeah. Anyways, so it's just interesting to note that this team that looks like relatively deep on paper is actually running like really condensed, and like Joe Ingles is like the only guy popping in. So they played a tight ball game here, and they only ran 9 by the looks of it. And like, man, those starter minutes, like 39 for Gobert, 39 for Edwards, 35 for Randall. So like, this is why when I'm like, hey, I'm looking for like some auxiliary like pieces from other game environments, yeah, I'm going to go to the higher total game environments and like the spots that we don't have like solidified rotations. Like this one looks like pretty cut and dry to me. It's like you just know who the guys are that are going to be running, and there's like nothing crazy to do like matchup wise here. Yeah, anyways, so that being said, like Ant, you just take him in the first round. Gobert, you can mix and match. Randall, you mix and match in the second round there. And then I won't fault anybody to getting to Dante in the last round. It's not been a good start to the season there. And Connolly's last box score will look nice because he just got a bunch of stocks. But there's no reason to think that Dante can't get hot with the second unit from deep, especially against some of these poor perimeter defenders for the Mavs. So I don't know. I kind of like Dante's shooting tonight. And then the Naz Reid conversation is interesting because like the way that the Mavs have split minutes at the 5, no Maxi Kleber tonight, which kind of matters because Jason Kidd loves to fuck up their rotations by running him at the 5 or running him alongside one of the guys at the 5. might see like just a slight boost for like PJ Washington, or what we saw last game was a slight boost for Derek Lively, who ended up playing 28 minutes. Lively's played more minutes than Gafford in all of the first 3 games in which they've played. Now, this matchup in particular, like Gobert versus, like, it just sets up better for like Gafford, you would think, like just like the bigger bodied, slower archetype of like that player. Now, that doesn't mean it fares well for him. I just think like Lively might be a little overprojected in terms of like ADP right now and a little bit of box score. Watching, like, I think the models will not suggest that he's as good a play as ADP suggests he is right now. But if they get secondary run for that Naz Reid unit, and then Lively's out there versus that Naz Reid unit, like that's when Lively could cook. So if you project extended minutes for Naz Reid tonight, and you think that there's some reason that the T-Wolves aim to play slightly smaller tonight, then or slightly faster tonight, which I don't think there's reason to project either. I'm just saying that would positively correlate with Derek Lively playing more. So I don't know. That's just my kind of like bro science, takeaway. Yes, the champ chiming in from last night here that is Clax night. It is in fact Clax night. We addressed that one a couple times there. Yeah, no backup 5 to really run there other than Clowney. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Jazz and Kings, this is going to be like fastest game of the night, or arguably, traditionally speaking, should be the fastest game of the night. That being said, Pels have been running a little bit, and Warriors, as I alluded to with Winky's data, like second in the most 3 opportunities or most open 3 opportunities, and third in pace right now. So I don't know, maybe that changes with Steph, or maybe they just, run 11 deep and they run fast as hell tonight. Maybe you get like Lindy Waters aping into that rotation. Like, who knows? Anyways, that's a separate conversation. Keegan Murray's ADP is fake. Nobody's really taking him where he's at. DeMar DeRozan, people are trying to get a little bit over in the second round. The projection models will tell you to do so just because of the high implied team total, the high implied game total, and the potential speed of this game. Monk in the 6th round, totally fine, but not my preferred target of the bunch. And then Smonis, he was going behind Ant, and he was going not quite at 5, but he went at 5 a couple times last night. Just being mindful of the combos that are available there, because he's going at 3 every single time now. Jazz side of the ball is like Lauri Markkanen, and then pick your poison. Sexton goes the highest out of the bunch. Outside of that, same with Kessler. They're like in that next tier. I mean, John Collins, one of my favorite late round picks right now. I assume he starts tonight. That's not a given, but I think he'll start. There's a non-zero chance that they do something with like Cody Williams, and nobody touches Cody Williams, and rightfully so in our game. But there's a non-zero chance that he starts tonight, and that would negatively impact John Collins. Just throwing it out there. George, Nez can take George. Nez loves George. Oh, shoot. Here we go. DFS King, our king, indeed. DFS King, A24, our guy who shipped a Dog Bowl seat last week, coming in here, gifting out 20 memberships. Holy smokes. While I'm just vamping about the Jazz rotation that nobody gives a fuck about. My guy, dude, much appreciated, much love. Sorry we couldn't make the winner's circle work for you on yesterday's show there, but you are welcome. Evergreen invite anytime you would like to come on, and you can find a way to make the setup work for you. Let's do it in the future. That's beautiful, man. Thank you so much for doing that. This, okay, here you go. All right, Nez is coming in. Nez is gonna come in here. Shout out to John Porter for getting us up. That's so funny. I'm not even like logged in, so I don't even know how that happened. That's funny. Don't forget, this is the quintessential Keegan Murray spot. Okay. All right. So Nez is telling us that this is the quintessential 3-and-D spot for Keegan Murray. Okay. All right. Kevin Huerter's getting ramped up a little bit more. It was actually surprising that he was back so early in the season. I think a lot of people anticipated him being out longer than this, but yeah. Do, 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 do. Yeah, there you go. I just got to get the viewer count out by getting in there. Can't believe, dude, I tried to be a member and it just like wouldn't work for me for whatever reason. That's why when Nez does the After Dark streams, I'm always typing in from the BadgeBros account. Whereas Nez gets this cool little like whatever that is, that little wrench thingy. Oh man. Mad respect, DFS King, A24, mad love, bro. He's been around for a long time. Around for a long time. Yeah. Walker Kessler night, maybe. I'm here for it. If it is, it doesn't. I mean, everyone cooks bonus, but like playing fast with Walker Kessler doesn't seem like the greatest thing in the world. But you can't deny what he's done the first handful of games here. Pelicans. Yeah. They this is interesting, man. They're basically missing anyone who plays the 5. So does Zion get a little bit of 5 run? That being Trey Murphy, who they said they would play small and run at the 5 kind of deal there, right? What do they do at the 5 tonight? I don't know. Do we see some Missy run tonight? Do we see some? If you go box score looking on the Dawg app there, I mean, this Missy stuff is no joke, and some good coach speak coming their way about it. But CJ McCollum projecting well. BI obviously high ADP, Zion high ADP, rightfully so. Herb Jones is free as leverage in the last round. If you play Herb, you're just looking for some stock upside. Plays better on our platform than other ones. Jordan Hawkins has been playing really well. We kind of fell in love with him off and on last year there. He can definitely shoot the lights out. Really good 3-point shooter. He's basically been getting the backup point guard run over Jose Alvarado, which wasn't always the case. But I don't know. I haven't looked into the handling splits, to be honest. Maybe something I can do on the fly here. I would really be interested, like how much of the handling role he is running with the second unit. Let's go ahead and just take a look at the machine here. New Orleans lost to Portland. So that's kind of why some of the numbers will be inflated because all this backup run late in the ball game here. But it does look so he stayed out with the bench unit, kind of like quote unquote garbage time unit here for the last whatever that is, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes. But he was out there. So Herb's out, Hawkins is out, Theis is on the bench. They're playing small with Hawkins alongside McCollum. That's very interesting. Now, do we think they can play small tonight against the Warriors? Absolutely. If we get low Trace Jackson Davis minutes and they play Draymond at the 5 like they used to, Draymond's been so outspoken about, not wanting to play a 5. If they put Draymond back at the 5 and they run like small and fast this whole game, Zion versus Draymond at the 5, you could see some extended Jordan Hawkins run tonight for sure. So, yeah, that's something to think through because Hawkins doesn't get drafted enough in the 6th round for a guy who can, like, truly. What is the difference? Truly, what's the difference in betting on Buddy Hield tonight and betting on Jordan Hawkins tonight when they both get 25 minutes or they both get 29 minutes? Truly, what's the difference? Jordan Hawkins is free in the last round. Huh. Okay. Johnny Football's chiming in. Good basketball player, a.k.a. Johnny Basketballs. 14% Hawkins already. Smart, man. Smart. Here you go. Big snacks coming in. Do we think Hawkins is in play tonight? Absolutely. I think we just talked our way into it. Kuminga seems like the priority for me for the Warriors. If we think Wiggins doesn't go tonight, if Wiggins goes, this slate low key gets flipped on its head because Kuminga is overdrafted and taken too high, and Wiggins becomes like not a must have in the sixth because he's not necessarily that big slate breaking ceiling, but he played very well the last two games. I think he had 38 fantasy points last time out on one of the shorter slates there. But yeah, if you're looking for like the mean projection outcome guy, like I would be really interested if I knew Draymond was playing the 5 and they were playing small to start and we didn't get these two lineups to start here. I'd be interested in Draymond in the last. He will project the highest in quotations because his minutes will appear to be the safest to most of the models. If you fudge with those numbers a little bit though, either way, I mean, we're not getting 35 from Draymond tonight, right? So let's take a ceiling opportunity somewhere else kind of thing. Like I know I'm getting 35 in a competitive game from Pods. So why not just take him in the last round? Hopefully he has an expanded handling role without Steph. Anyways, kind of like macro view of the slate there. Yeah, let's hop into the platform, see what it looks like. I got to switch back. Been having some. Let's see here. I gotta do it like this. So I've been having it. Actually, maybe this is a good reminder for everybody. I've been having, if anybody's been having some tough, some tough understandings or logging ins or figuring outs of Underdog right now, there is a small little thing that's been going on that I've been experiencing with and been sharing with Numi and the devs there. I can't log in on web from certain. I can't log in on web from certain browsers unless I change my Google like login identity. I don't know what's happening. But if anybody has had trouble signing in on web, just switch to incognito and then sign into a new Google account for Google Chrome in particular, and then we're good. All right. Are we taking Joker or Luka 1? I'm taking Joker tonight. I know they played. I mean, they both played last night. I know they went into overtime. I like the Joker spot just so much more. Claxton's not the best matchup in the world there, but as I alluded to, they basically have no good backup 5 that they can put out there to play Joker tonight. And the perimeter defense, and especially like wing defending to lockdown threes, is some of the best in the league when it comes to Minnesota. So that's my slight edge. That's my slight bro science. That's my slight little reasoning as to why I have Joker over Luka. The other one would be you don't want to get caught with your pants down by just having Luka over him and then having like 100% Luka because Joker never falls kind of deal, right? So an exposure threshold. Yeah, I mean, do we like Lowry? Yeah, Lowry's fine. Like anytime you get to Lowry is fine. Like you should take him. He's going to project well. He's going to be Utah's number 1 option at his price point in the second round. Yes, you should take there. There's a tier break in it. Yeah. Yeah, so this is what Beastburf saying he gets the location errors. This is what I was getting before was the location errors, and then I stopped being able to log in for whatever reason, and now it's just kind of like a weird screen. So then I just switched the browser, and now it works. So I'm just making people aware if people are having issues with that. Yeah, there you go. So Brave gives you, if you use Brave as your browser, it'll give you location errors, but you can use Chrome. Okay, good to know. Yeah, I did do this, Alan. I did clear the cache, and then that's what they told me to do originally, and then it logged me out, and then I've tried every little jumpstart trick that we've been given here. Okay, I think with some of that meta that we just talked through, I think we should start in the pick'em lobby before we jump into a draft and or just look at some of the isolated spots in ADP. I think we talked it ourselves into liking that Jordan Hawkins, they play small tonight. 12 and a half on the points. Let's see what we got here. Let's take a little look-sees at what Jordan Hawkins has been doing. Those 34 minutes, 29, 27. He had that extended little garbage time run, but that was only an extra 3 to 4 minutes or so there. So he's been hovering around 30 every single time out. He has cleared that points, rebound, and assist mark in every single game thus far, including the one that DeJounte Murray played a portion of. Man, I think we take that Jordan Hawkins PRA. We're getting a slight dock on it. A slight dock on the PRA. We could take the points at full. I mean, he is like a fill it up guy, if we're being real. But I kind of like that one. I think we still like the Christian Brown one. We can go to it. 16 and a half for a guy who's going to start that might have potentially limited Murray and, bad defense on the other side versus him. I mean, not traditionally a guy that attacks the hoop a ton, but might be tonight. Yeah, I kind of like that one. And then thinking through some of those other spots, I mean, Gafford and Lively was a spot that we didn't really like the hires on. Let's take a look at the Mavs in general. Just look at this ball game. Man, these Dante numbers are pretty high for a guy who's free in the 6th round. Not gonna lie. Maybe they're just like hedging the fact that. Wow, they are. I mean, the Gafford stuff's pretty low, to be honest. I really wanted to haterade on some Gafford stuff. Yeah. Run points seems free. Okay. Interesting. Crutch is saying he uses Brave, but it works for him. Interesting. Okay. Maybe I'll pivot to Brave and see if it works there. Brave is the through and through. That's how I know you're a real one. That's how you know you're a crypto guy when you use the Brave. Kyrie's interesting, man. Kyrie's interesting with Clay. It's just been a little down the first couple games of the season with Clay. I don't know if they're trying to just get Clay open looks more frequently and Kyrie secondary handling role overlaps with the bench more. I don't know. Kyrie I watched bits and pieces of those games. He just doesn't look like he's attacking like Kyrie attacks. But it also, I haven't looked at touch time. If you guys want to do some deep dive on it, I would go in and I would compare Kyrie's touch time this season to what his standards were for last year. I don't definitively know, but I would venture a guess that his touch time is down in the same way in which Devin Booker's touch time has been down to start the year. Yeah. All right. Do we like any Aaron Gordon? Aaron Gordon is a guy who's always going to be over projected by Stochastic. Not a knock, just a truth. Yeah, just something that I've always noticed there. I was preferring to take Marco Porter Jr. there. I like Marco Porter Jr.'s rotations right now. I liked it even more when I thought Jamal Murray potentially wouldn't play or would be limited. That seems less and less likely now. But yeah. Rough, yep, gifted out by DFS King there. Thank him again. And yeah, Steve, we talked about this one a little bit ago there. If you want to scroll back in time, I imagine some of you are trickling in from watching Davis and or watching the ETR show there. Paid, suggesting that he is fading Randall's PRA. Let's check out Randall's PRA. 34 and a half. Okay. Let's do it. Let's make that the show. That's one narrative that we didn't talk through with the Minnesota stuff quite yet is PJ. Last year, PJ Washington, just like wing defender, that sort of deal, was one of the best in the league from when they acquired him and Gafford at the trade deadline. From that point through the postseason, Dallas's wing defense was elite. So that's a good little PJ narrative that I can sell myself here We currently do not have any promos available. That is abnormal in there, seen as though it is still Boosttober here. Couple days left, but I like this one. It's just a small one, 100 USD from yours truly. That's how you know it's got the stamp of approval. I like how we talked ourselves into this. I like how we got there. I like the process. We came in with a slight idea of what we wanted. But yeah, I like this. Nice. Top AFC teams adding wide receivers, which is it's funny to me because yes, DeAndre Hopkins, yes, Deontay Johnson, but also Devontae Adams. Very good. All right, drop that one in the chat if you guys want to play along at home. No pressure. Know your limit. Play within it. Classic. All right, let's do the ranks real quick here. Just some interesting spots that I want to talk through. I think the Sponus versus Edwards debate is up for grabs. I think the Zion one versus this Randall tier or even versus Fox is up for debate. I think those are 2 points of contention on here. Yeah, the Cam Thomas, Rudy Gobert, you will see a lot of people pushing up Larry Markkinen over those two. And then if you're using some of the other stuff, people are then pushing up the Ingrams, the CJ McCollums, and then the DeMar DeRozan here in the highest total game on the slate. And then they're kind of, this isn't like a full ranking. I'm just kind of speaking in tiers here. People will still obviously have Cam Thomas mixed in there and Rudy Gobert mixed in there. Randall goes, at 6 or 7 every single time. And then Kyrie kind of finds his way here. And Jamal was like a soft fade for people. And then there's like this huge clear line in the sand that you can see in terms of ADP because we go from 13.7 to 16 that just like Schroeder just stands alone in his own tier. And then it kind of all starts again here. So I was getting over, I was kind of pushing up this DeRozan and McCollum over there, pulling Murray down in the thought that he'd be slightly limited, and then pushing up a little bit of Michael Porter Jr. because I liked the handling potential and I liked the shooting role better than Aaron Gordon tonight. But you could make the same case for either of them. And then Kuminga, who I was saying, I think Wiggins is out tonight, so I'm going to go ahead and push Kuminga up and anticipate a higher usage role for him this evening. Then the Claxton spot, Claxton kind of vaulting this tier. The projection models will tell you to pull Clay down, but man, they're making a really concerted effort to get Clay the ball early in the season. And it does look like he's handling a little bit more, but this is a bad shooting matchup, like perimeter defense from the T-Wolves. This is a tough matchup for the Mavs there. So I pulled Clay down a little bit, pulled some of these pieces up. And then kind of once you get to this Claxton, Cam Johnson, like another line, you could just mix and match and do whatever the fuck you want based on narrative, based on roster construction, based on who you're looking to find ceiling from. So if John Collins starts tonight, I think, his ceiling projection would put him in this tier. If we had got no Murray, Christian Brown would push up a little bit. Monk running the second unit in the highest total game on the slate feels totally fine. If you think it's Keontae George night in terms of matchup versus Fox, by all means. If you think the handling role is nice, if you think Jordan Clarkson's going to be 6th man of the year contender this evening in the same way Monk is, he's free down here. We just talked about why we like Jordan Hawkins potentially playing small against small with Zion at the 5 tonight. We could get Hawkins out here to shoot the lights out and do his best Buddy Hield impression, but do it from a 6th round value. There, Herb Jones, if we're chasing some stocks, and then Westbrook, if we think there's going to be secondary handling and limited minutes for Jamal, which looks less and less likely right now. Let's hop in, see what it looks like on the fly. Looks like I did 42. I think I did 45, so I might have had a couple tossed out there. Yeah. Noah, scroll back. We talked about some of the favorite 6th round clicks, but we'll get to the 6th round in half a second here, and I will talk through them once we are there. Yeah. Just like the fact that everyone in the industry is projecting them out right now. Johnny Footballs, this isn't my like own original thought. I imagine there's probably some good coach speak clues out there if you go listen to the ETR stuff or if you go follow some of the Twitter stuff we could find, but it is back injury. So we will see. His back's injured from trying to put the team on it on Sunday night versus the Clippers there and coming up short. I thought he was really good play on Sunday night slate. Played a decent amount of them in the late rounds there. We rolled the 106 here. Let me mess around. The window settings are a little bit different with this browser. That does not make it better. All right, whatever. You'd have to deal with the names being cut off at the top. We got the Wood in here, who you guys got to go check out his site. I will find it on the fly here, drop it in there. A super sweet sweat alongside. Let me find it. If you guys are hanging out in the chat, someone drop it in the chat for everyone because it's a very cool companion tool. I'm looking for it back in the Discord here. This will be the most commonly paired together play on the entire slate tonight. It is Randall and Zion over and over again at this corner because people are having a hard time justifying taking anyone else. If you look at the kind of like grouping behind here, I think maybe you could like push up market in for like some ceiling potential here, but it does look like a pretty stark tier drop off just in terms of projection. So these two will be paired together routinely on the short slate, but very standard to see how this room is going. And this 18-19 is where you can start getting a little funky because, as we alluded to, that Schroeder pick at like 16 or 17 is when the projection kind of drops off, the ADP drops off, and you could kind of start scrolling the F around in these middle tiers, kind of flipping the board. There you go. Thank you, Nick, giving the actual shit that everyone is listening to. Kerr already said Wiggins is unlikely to play Tuesday, according to the Underdog NBA account yesterday. There we go. All right. That's why he's got a zero projection on the site as well. So there we go. I knew I saw it somewhere and I knew there was a sharper reasoning. Normally, I do remember these kind of things. Let me just look in for a second there. Oh, he does have a number now. So he had a zero projection earlier. So they'd have put a little 26 beside his name. Now, I don't know if that indicates anything. We also would have just got an updated injury report since the show has started here. I'll jump on over and see if anybody else filed the 230 injury report. Nothing funky for the Mavs, just the Exum out and the Gortman out, which we already knew and don't matter for the slate. T-Wolves, nothing funky. That's a good sign. And the Kings and the Jazz have yet to file because their game takes place an hour and a half later than that one. So, yeah, here we go. All right. So Keegan Murray is top of ADP here. There's the Schroeder line in the sand. Interesting to see CJ McCollum fall back. Stochastic's really high on him when I was looking this morning when they were kind of like the only model out. I alluded to the fact that I like Kuminga tonight. I think pushing up Kuminga here for like a mini game correlation with the Zion stuff makes a lot of sense, even though it's not like necessarily a fact. Nez told us the Keegan Murray stuff. I got a soft fade on Keegan Murray tonight. Let's take Walker Kessler. He's been balling. Maybe a little extended run here with no Taylor Hendricks, but like they were overlapping. They weren't like one for one, but that 29 minutes from Kessler looks really nice. I wouldn't fault anybody if they wanted to make a stand on one of the Denver guys there to push up. I wouldn't fault anybody if they wanted to flip the board and put Claxton on that side, but there will be teams that have Claxton in the 5th round that fell all the way back there. So you might be sacrificing some projection in doing so. Noah asking where the bumps come. Yeah, Kuminga at 18 there. That's why he's the cover boy. Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what they do tonight because they've wanted to run deep, and I don't know if they will run deep still. So yeah. Um, Last round swap with no other Q tags, so not really bad though. Tough if they rule them out late. You have less swap options. Yeah, it's a good shout. Very good shout there. Yeah, evergreen reminder if you are taking the Q tag here in this situation, say Wiggins comes back to us, we take him at pick 30 instead of 31. There's no real other Q tags on the slate that would be swap eligible anyways, but that would give us leverage over, whatever this is, 11, 10 picks worth of plays that you would swap in front of. But if you took them at 31, you're the last swap on the board. So just something to always think of. If you are taking the Q tag, prioritize it in the first pick because it's no different whether you take them on 30 or 31, but it's very different in terms of your swap. Nas Reed getting pushed up a little bit by our guy Beastmurph there. Don't mind it. Nas Reed night is eventually coming. It's eventually coming. I think we are going to do some scrolling at this spot. It seems like we're in a pretty sharp room where guys aren't letting the quote unquote ADP fallers fall. Let's do some scrolling and maybe let's make a little bit of a game environment play here. Let's say that the Pelicans game is the one that pops off this evening. That's the spot that we want to attack here. Let's push up pods. I think it's fine to play pods alongside Kuminga. I think they both start tonight. I think they both play 30 tonight. And then let's take Jordan Hawkins. Not enough people are clicking his name right now. I think they think of it as just backup run there. But there's some overlap, and I think he's a guy who can get hot and shoot the lights out. And as I did say earlier, what is the difference in taking Jordan Hawkins tonight and taking Buddy Hield tonight? And they are, where did Buddy Hield go in this draft? At 13, and Jordan Hawkins went at 31. Now, obviously, Buddy Hield's going to project, 4 to 5 points better, but from a ceiling perspective, why not? Lively goes there, and Riley's probably hanging out in the chat, so he could tell us who he picks here, but I will pop it out just to get a look at it. Why is it not giving me the option to share this? Bizarre. All right. Never mind. Some funky things are happening with this when I was forced to switch browsers here. All right. There we go. There's the board there. We ended up with a Zion, a Randall, Kuminga, Kessler, Pods, and Hawkins. Not terrible. Not bad. Trace Jackson Davis, nice final pick there. He's going to project better than Jordan Hawkins will. Get some good 5 run there. There's a couple guys, man. Like maybe we're scrolling a little bit too far in my mind, but like this Missy pick's intriguing, man. I don't know. He looked nice the first couple games there. Obviously, the majority of his run was in the first game there when they were without Zion. But like, there's a guy in the 6th round that's playing some backup 5. Now they might play small tonight, and that might not be what they need. But what if they play a little bit bigger? They match the size of Trace Jackson Davis at the 5. They keep Draymond running at the 4, and you get a guy who the coach has literally said, go out there and get stocks. Your job is to go out there and get blocks. All he's going to do is feast at the rim. We talk about these backup 5s all the time. Why not take athletic ones, rookie ones, kid from Baylor? 22, 24, 32. You get a softer 5 matchup in the league in an up-tempo game. You could do worse. As I scroll the F down today, you could do worse. It's not going to project well, but not a lot of people are going to get there, so why not? All right, let's hop in another one here. Oh, yeah, there you go. There's Riley. Took his guy. Apologies. I don't know, Johnny. I don't know. I don't think Buddy Hield's that fucking good at basketball. Maybe that's my problem. Maybe I'm not respecting Buddy Hield enough. Maybe I'm not respecting what he used to do on occasion in those Indiana days. I know he can get hot from three. I know that. What else can he do for me? I don't know. Buddy Hield's kind of like my soft favorite of the night. He's going to see some more handling. He's going to see some extended run tonight. All right, at 27, 4, and 6 in only 19 minutes against Utah. That's nice. That's pretty. I'll give him that. Maybe I got to mix it in a bit. But on these short slates, you got to pick your spots, man. Yeah. He's going to shoot. He's going to shoot. He's absolutely going to shoot. Who else? Who else is going to shoot for the Warriors tonight? The robots will not play, buddy. Yeah, I tend to agree with that. So maybe there's a little bit of leverage going to it. Interesting. Crash Rich pushing up Fox here, introducing some different combos. I don't know. I haven't looked at the ETR stuff since they did the show. Maybe all of a sudden Fox is projecting very well. Maybe there was some breaking news that we didn't see. But I can't think of a reason to take Fox over Sabonis tonight unless you're strictly looking for leverage in flipping. Most recent news from the Underdog site is for Wednesday. We already got Joel Embiid out. We got Paul George out. And we got Scotty Barnes out for Wednesday. And then we have the Jamal probable tag. That's it. So, I don't know. Little leverage in the old flip the board mentality there. Pair Fox with some different combos than he's routinely getting paired with. I like Laurie here. I'll take Marketing over the big ass shotgun. I will take him over Gobert tonight. I'm really confused about the 5 matchup there. That being said, you can't deny that Gobert could just feast in the stock department, and it's curtains for anybody who's doing this. I mean, he just scores so well on our platform. But you got to make some stands on these slates. Interesting. So he goes Fox and then pushes up DeRozan as well. And those two puts them together, who I think their ceilings negatively correlate. I don't know. Could Fox have an 11 assist game and 10 of them result in DeMar buckets? Maybe. Luca plus Gobert. Pretty standard stuff here. The Kyrie being paired with Joker. We might look back and be like, oh, we're just getting a vintage Kyrie handling game out of nowhere. And that might look silly in the same way in which the Paulo stuff ended up looking silly last night. But not sure Kyrie's got that ceiling right now, especially against some good wing and good perimeter defense. CJ McConnell goes. Interesting to note that some of the projection stuff I was looking at this morning had CJ over BI just because of the handling rule. Walker Kessler getting pushed up. I kind of had that soft fade Jamal, but I can't tell a story that I take Jamal with the probable tag. That I take anyone in this tier over Jamal. The ceiling is just exponentially higher in my opinion. So go ahead and pair Jamal there. That's the end of like that tier, that 15 player tier I alluded to. I'm going to give this a little update here and just see if the probable tag appears. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. Just wanted to confirm. Johnny Basketball is saying that he's CJ over BI. Can't fault it. I like it. T-Bear saying that it feels a little redundant to go with Deontay Johnson instead of Flowers. I don't know, man. Deontay Johnson's A-dot's a little deeper this year. Professional-ass wide receiver who's a little further downfield. I think it's a good complementary piece for some over-the-middle stuff. I like it. I did not see what Barnes did to his hand. I did not see it. I did not see the tail end of that ball game, but he was in there. So, did we officially get Derek Carr? That'll impact the football slate. That makes Kamara's ADP at 101 a little more digestible. I know the people want me to click Buddy Hield here. I know they want me to do it. Fuck that. Claxton, no backup 5. What happens if Claxton gets in foul trouble tonight against Joker? Very conceivable. Very conceivable. What happens if former defensive player of the year candidate Nick Claxton gets in foul trouble against Joker tonight? Clowney at the 5? Should we thinking about what 22 minutes of Noah Clowney at the 5 looks like in the 6th round? Probably not enough to win the slate. Probably not. Probably a thin path to winning the slate. He's probably better suited at the 4 anyways. I like this. What happens if Clax clotheslines Joker? Claxton's seen a therapist, man. He's over that part of his life. He's over that part of that his game. Who was the guy that he smoked last year that he apologized about? Can't remember right now. All right, we got to give all right, interesting question. CPS, DFS, is there negative correlation between Claxton and Joker on the same roster? Traditionally speaking, sort of. Enough to care about? No. Are the fact that they both can't get a rebound at the same time negatively correlated? And if one guy eats on the glass for like 15 rebounds and the other guy does not, they directly impact one another? Yeah. That being said, if the game goes to overtime, they're positively correlated. Or if they both stay in a contested game where the minutes are high for both of them, I'm going to take Cam Johnson here. I think it's the last tier break. It's kind of like Cam Johnson is my last like favorite in quotations pick. Crash Rich is doing some absolute scrolling out here for a unique roster, and I really respect it. Just very interesting to see. Fox, DeRozan, Kessler, Klay Thompson, PJ Washington will always overproject because of just the mean projection. That doesn't mean he can't fill it up on occasion, but those PJ Washington games that we got at the tail end of last year where he got like put a dude in P jail with like 4 stocks and then found his way to the rim like 4 times and then iced 2 or 3 threes. Like those games are going to be few and far between with Klay on the court now, I think. That's how I'm treating it. With the expanded Lively rule too, I don't see the ceiling games in the same capacity as the models currently project PJ Washington, but I might also be an idiot. Who knows? Who knows? Could be a fucking fool, guys. They could make me look really stupid tonight. This is one of the times in which I'm fine taking Wiggins because Pods goes first. I like taking Pods. You guys know what I was saying earlier. I'm a man of my word when it comes to the one warrior per lineup, and then you get the swap kind of deal. That being said, let's go in a different direction. Let's go ahead. We're going to scroll the F down. Dante DiVincenzo starts knocking down some threes, starts playing a little bit more of a handling role. Some of that time comes at the expense of Mike Connolly this evening, who is just evergreen available for his 20 fantasy points down here. 36 because he got 5 stocks last game, but his 20 fantasy point games on his 25 minutes over and over and over again is just free in the last round. If you want to take the floor play, if we want to shoot the ceiling, we'll take the Dante DiVincenzo pick. Yeah. Okay, so back to this question. Yes. So in a traditional sense, they're slightly negatively correlated. In terms of like ceiling potential, maybe not, but it's like just fractions and fractions of minuscule edge. We have seen multiple slates right now or this year where teammates have taken them down. Also, the shorter the slate, the less it matters. The more that the correlation could play in your favor, to be honest, because with fewer games, if that's the one game that pops off, yeah. Um, Not a huge fan of it though. Like just in general, like not a huge fan of it, but I get it. Um, yeah, I mean, you can tell yourself a story. Like Tuna's saying, one guy gets rebounds, one guy gets stocks. Like you can tell yourself. Yeah, but on shorter slates, it's fine. um, all right, let's do our first dog bowl of the week. Let's do without even looking, without going into it. Let's tie a bow. That was the NBA segment. I will make sure to get in about probably 35 to 50 more drafts and then do the $100 and do some stuff. We had a nice puck slate tonight. Actually, puck stuff last night. I was going to go to the game and then we went down in the vicinity and decided to just stay at the bar and watch the baseball game and the end of the basketball game and then the football game and not go to the game. Yeah, but I was going down in the Uber, and it's just funny because we shouted out Car Park yesterday for giving us some of his gear from his site, the Troll Co. clothing, and I'd never heard the phrase before. Dirty hands, clean money. And we alluded to it being like the blue collar thing associated with his company. It's the slogan of his company. I'd never seen it before in my life until like a week ago when he messaged me and I looked up the company and I was like, wow, it's kind of a cool slogan. I respect that kind of deal. And last night I'm in the Uber and we're driving behind this truck that's got a huge ass bumper sticker right in the middle of that like third window in the back there. And it just says dirty hands, clean money right on it. And I was like, man, the world's so weird like this where you never hear something and I don't know. I've heard the phrase before, but I never heard it as like a slogan or something people said or something that people put on like a car or something. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, we get gifted some shirts. And then all of a sudden I see it on a truck. And like it's just like, yeah, it was very I was like, oh shit. Anyways, where I was going with this is we had the hockey game on last night, we had the baseball game and the football game. And we went to the sports bar that's got like TVs everywhere, the big drop down one, big ass TVs everywhere. They had the baseball game, like we're talking game 3 of the World Series with Ohtani and Judge. I had to ask for it on like a side TV to like whatever. Like nobody gives a fuck. I don't get it, man. I know I'm the last of a dying breed with this baseball stuff, but like holy shit, like that's got to be front and center on 2 jumbo screens, Monday Night Football and the World Series beside it. Like the fact that people cared more about watching Steelers Giants field goal fest just blows my mind, man. Blows my mind. Okay. I said I would do it. I have done maybe 1 or 2 battle royales. I have done what's going on here? 1 or 2 battle royales. I have done 0 dog bowls thus far this week. All the sharp people are trying to get in here before the projections come out. We got 3 more spots in the dog bowl. Now we got 2 more spots. Alex, I'm in Vancouver. I'm in Vancouver, my friend. Your story cost me now. I'm drafted with the robots. Apologies. I am always out here rugging the people. Apologies. We got a friends and family draft here. Holy smokes. B Smurf, JGFC, who is now a basketball guy, thanks to us. Best Ball Viper, who has already got a dog bowl seat under his belt. Eggers, who took down a slate last weekend or this weekend. One of the 2, Johnny Footballs, aka Johnny Basketballs. Crash Rich hanging out again. Troy, who finds his way in here. Sacrilegious, mad respect to Sacrilegious. He's going to find his way there eventually with all these 1% lineups he's creating. And then Biff, our guy Biff, who we were hanging out in Vegas with. Holy smokes. This is a little who's. If you are Big Poppy or Tubinis, 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 and you were hanging out, say what up. Say what up. Oh. Noah's asking, why do I have a draft refunded? There are a multitude of reasons, my friend, and probably none of them were your fault if you are asking. Interesting to see Saquon Barkley go 1-0-1 here. My initial look at this slate is I'm going to be putting a premium yet again on these upper echelon wide receivers. The Kamara justification. Okay, let's take CeeDee Lamb. He's on the cover. I think I really like the CeeDee Lamb matchup. We saw the ceiling CeeDee Lamb game most recently. Maybe that's living rent free in my head there. Yeah. Anyways, the let's take CeeDee Lamb here. The Alvin Kamara ceiling against Carolina. I mean, the Broncos just hung it on Carolina this week. If the Broncos can do it, you'd think Alvin Kamara could as well. But there's some big problems at quarterback. So I want to be sure that Derek Carr is coming back before I take Alvin Kamara at 1. The only place you can fall, or the only place you can go from 1-0-1 is to fall, right? So I'll go ahead and wait on the Derek Carr news, though I think it is likely that he'll be coming back this week. And I just think, when I was looking, the quick positional breakdown stuff, we will do the definitive preview tomorrow with Nez there. Yeah, when I'm just looking at this, man, like some of these running backs that I could get, especially in the 6-mans late, like Josh Jacobs might have his own quarterback problems and like matchup problems, but like 25 touches last week. I mean, maybe even more, 27, maybe 26 touches last week. Tony Pollard's down here. Like he's going to project well. Davis was going on and on about that one. I mean, you could tell yourself a story about some of these running backs at the bottom here. Nick Chubb on a revitalized offense there that threw for 300 yards last week. You don't think he can fall in the end zone twice? You can tell yourself a story about some of these running backs, and I kind of want to get the ceiling output of some of these wide receivers at the upper echelon before I have to start telling some creative stories of, do we see expanded Mari Cooper role this week? We didn't see it last week in a spot that you thought he would smash, right? Jaden Reed will rise here. DK Metcalf feels like he's still a week away, but that would be a smash spot versus the Rams. Tillman, that was just such a strong role. Ladd, such a strong role. Jalen Waddle, that is, discount this week. Calvin Ridley with a career high, damn near career high in yardage. It wasn't actually, but it was pretty damn close. 143 on 15 targets there. I just feel like it's easier to find my way to those stories at the running back position than it was in telling those wide receiver ones. But yeah. This is true. Good point, GA. Yes, if we do end up getting no Jordan Love this week, Jaden Reed will stay. All right, so here you go. D-Turk is Big Poppy. Always lurking. Respect it, bro. Love it. Yeah, no, I see this. Basketball Viper, I see this, man. Like, I do think, like, regionally speaking, baseball is so huge, but, like, it breaks my heart that, like, the ratings of, like, a shitty Monday Night Football game will line up against, like, the World Series with all the star power with two of the biggest markets. I don't know. And, like, to be fair, like, the ticket prices are astronomical and that sort of stuff for the New York stuff. I was looking at that. Everybody was gone. I mean, it's just 4-0. It's 4-0 in the bottom of the ninth of Game 3 of the World Series, and the whole stadium's empty. Like, Verdugo hits a home run with 2 outs there off of Kopech. If they get the next runner on base, you got to face Michael Kopech, who has gas can potential, has to then face Soto and Judge with the game-tying run at the plate with 2 of the best hitters on planet Earth. And everybody left. Everybody left. I don't get it. I think there's 2 kind of like mental tear breaks here. I think all the quarterbacks are fine if you want to go the quarterback route here. I think Hurts will project better than Lamar this week. I'm going to take Gibbs here. I like Gibbs' ceiling. I mean, he could do so much with so little. I'm gonna take Gibbs there. Don't want to get caught completely. Interesting. I was looking for HN. HN was my target to fall back here. He is not. HN is his ADP looks fake by the looks of it. He's pushed up here. Puka at 8 for sacrilegious. Just paying attention to what some of you guys are doing in here. Lamar Jackson for B Smurf stacks it up with Zay Flowers. Kind of fun. Be interesting to see who you guys think projects better this week. Like Jalen Hurts just had all the tush push stuff, but going up against what we deem as an inept secondary there, and then Jaden Daniels. Pairing the two Detroit running backs together, I've heard crazier ideas. Let's go with the Josh Jacobs stuff. A little bit of game correlation there, which is slightly negative correlated when you go with two running backs, but at least one of them is a lower volume pass catching archetype that fits like their trailing narrative. That being said, Josh Jacobs is probably going to be a faller this week, especially if we get Malik Willis instead of Jordan Love. So situation to monitor. Who was I not supposed to do there, Eggers? Was it someone you wanted? Oh yeah, you wanted to stack Hurts. All right, I got you. Oh man. Wait. I don't know if this is a joke, Johnny Footballs, because I don't even know what this docu series is. But that's actually pretty dope if that's real. I would love to know more. Grant saying 13 good running backs literally can't be burned. Chuba, if Dalton goes, could be a smash. There's another interesting quarterback situation. Do they just turn their nose up at the fact that they think this season's over and they just go, all right, Dalton, I'm sorry that you hurt your finger in a car accident and you hurt your hand. Now it's just us time to go back to the rookie and watch him go down in flames. Kind of like the reverse situation of what the Colts are doing while they still think their season was alive. I said it last week, man. I did say it last week that if the Colts were serious about their season, what would they do? They would have started Flacco last week. It was a must-win game. Not must-win, but it was a must-have. Let's say a must-have game for the top of that division. Yeah. Do you think your running backs negatively correlate? Yep. Just suggested that, B-Smurf. Went through it, man. I do think they do. Ever so slightly. But I can tell myself a story that Gibbs is the pass catching one and he's in on trailing scripts. So if Josh Jacobs falls in the end zone twice to start the game, it's going to be a Gibbs game opposed to it being a Montgomery game. So the Montgomery one would feel worse with Jacobs, but yeah. Sorry, wasn't listening. Respect it. Oh. E White, didn't you have a good one the other day on the weekend? Let me know here. I feel like you had a good basketball, like a runner up or something in that we didn't shout out. That was in like the basketball streets or something, but it was a non-show day. Let me know. I thought you did. I thought I saw you up there with one. Apologies if it wasn't you, but I thought I saw you up there. We got 120 of us hanging out here, guys. Do me a favor, hit that like, hit the subscribe, that notification bell, all that fun stuff. I never ask, and I never ask enough. Consider becoming a member to DFS King. Gifted out 20 of them today, so mad respect to him. Thank you for that. Yeah, as I alluded to earlier in the show, they're thinking through some of our scheduling stuff and how we can break up shows to be sports specific and that sort of thing. Potentially working on some new overlays to be sports specific as well. Maybe do like hoops just for behind the paywall. Maybe do football as like the main 3 shows. Just talking through some potential. Let me know what you guys would want to see and or hear. I love being the multi-sport draft leads though. I love drafting everything all in one rip. Probably do a puck one right after this just to appease the puck bros, do a little model dust off. Shout out again to our guy Brendo who took one down the other night. And shout out to Dooley Data. Dooley Data took it down. Took down the puck slate last night. Guy's on a fucking heater, man. He was 4th in the BR there. He took down 2 puck slates so far. He won a side contest in the NFL streets. If you guys aren't following Dooley Data, you guys are doing it wrong. Should I do another dog bowl? Potentially. What are we at here? We're at about an hour 20. Let me check my mobile device and then see. Tuna asking, can you get gifted? I actually have no idea. I think if you're just logged in to YouTube, you can be the recipient. I think you were just unlucky, my friend. But it's only $5. You know, it's less than a cup of coffee, less than one battle royale entry. A new structure to the battle royale this week, slightly less total entrants there. Gives me the allure of it being slightly more obtainable. Interesting to see JGFC taking DK Metcalf so early here. That week-to-week tag, apparently not as scary as I thought. Oh, guys, are we going to do it again this week? I might hate myself forever if I just continue to do it over and over and over again. Am I going to do it again? Are we doing the Taysom Hill narrative over and over again is what I'm alluding to. Am I doing it? Are we going back to the Taysom well yet again? I don't know. He had a pass attempt last week. He had 4 carries. He had 4 catches. He had a drop. Fucking doing it. It's Carolina. We're going back to the Taysom Hill well. National Tight End Day be damned. This is a bro science play against the Carolina defense. If we get Carr back, they're more favorable field position, better red zone opportunities. Let's fucking do it. Let's do it. We just passed on Amari Cooper at an ADP value for Taysom fucking Hill. Because that's what we do around here. That's what we do. All right. This is going to be, combinatorially speaking, the most overutilized stack of the week will be Dak Prescott to CeeDee Lamb because it is so readily attainable. That being said, their ceilings are so positively correlated, maybe more so than any other pair of wide receiver and passer on the site. That being said, it did not matter last week. It did not matter. CeeDee Lamb, 33. Dak Prescott, what was it? 15? 18? 15. That's what happens when you throw 2 interceptions. They got to get it right, man. Dallas has got to get it right. Actually, speaking of Dallas, going to be going to the Cowboys game when we're out there for the Dawg Bowl. Going to be going to see Jamar Chase battle against CeeDee Lamb on Monday Night Football. That'd be fun. Really looking forward to that one. Been to Dallas once or twice before. Never been to that stadium. Oh, I've been inside the stadium and stuff, but never been to a game at the stadium. Yeah, no Stars, man. Stars aren't in town. Stars and Mavs both not in town. I was looking at that Dawg Bowl weekend. I'm sure we'll be busy doing a bunch of stuff. Crutches, good on you for going to the gym, bro. Be like Crutches. Go to the gym and win Dawg Bowl seats. All right, let me catch up. Chances of the Dawg Bowl promo coming back. Highly doubt it, Johnny Footballs. Highly doubt it. It is filling at way too fast a rate. Chances that the NBA main contest going to $7. I don't know. They told me before the season that they wanted to stick with the $5 price point because of the way in which it fills. Don't mess with a good thing, right? That being said, you get a little more money up top there, and the sickos keep turning out every single day, night after night. I don't know. Maybe. I've been a big proponent of a thing that I like to call ecosystem. And it was something that we talked about ad nauseum when I was a partner with some of the poker sites I worked with, and some of this stuff. An ecosystem, the health of the ecosystem, for a site to maintain itself and keep going inevitably forever, there is not unlimited capital that people will keep pouring in over and over and over again. Certain archetypes of human beings will, but most people will hit a stop loss. Okay. If they cannot find traction, if they cannot find winning early. And the way in which you expedite that process is by not giving money back to the community. So that's why the Underdog Rakeback program was so good for health of ecosystem, or is so good for health of ecosystem. That is why, especially on a site like ours where RNG is involved in each of these drafts, and you can't perfectly craft the exact lineup you want every single time. So you need the lower, like the min cash line to be lower, and you need the min cash line to be a little bit higher in money. I know everybody wants the top heavy prize pools. I know everybody wants that. For the health of the ecosystem, it's not always feasible, because unlike on Redacted, you can just put in your lineup that you want. For me, for every 5 lineups that I want, I have to draft a dead one. Or for every 3 lineups that I draft, I have to draft a dead one. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Anyways, interesting to see Jalen Brooks flipping Tolbert out here. That doesn't feel right. I got 9 seconds to just make a decision, which means I'm just going to click. Let's do Cedric Tillman. I drafted Cedric Tillman like twice last week. He's a big ass dude who looked nice winning routes. Like, those weren't busted coverages and stuff. Hayden had a nice tweet about it, just showing that. Like, Cedric Tillman might be able to ball, dude. He's also an absolute dog because he has a Tennessee Volunteers tattoo on his forearm. Good Tennessee kid. That's sick. I respect that. I lost the draft board. My apologies. I was going to walk through it. I'm going to share everybody's teams. I should have saved it before that. I got to be better. My apologies. We got Dak Prescott to the CeeDee Lamb skinny stack. We got a slightly negatively correlated running back room in Jahmyr Gibbs and Josh Jacobs. I think Josh Jacobs will project slightly better if we end up getting Jordan Love, but probably no more so than a second-round pick this week. Cedric Tillman, which is, fine in the last round. And then Taysom fucking Hill, because why not? Carolina Panthers. If there was ever a week, oh, man. All right. Let's see here. Ooh, interesting. Big 12 championship is the same weekend as the Dog Bowl as well. Oh, that's pretty good to know. That'll be some good viewing. Yeah, it is the 8th weekend. Yeah. So I think 6 to 9, nice. Something like that. Yeah. Anyways, just going back to some of the Dog Bowl stuff. They revamped the structure this year. There wasn't the same reason for the promos, and the fill rates have been strong. So I don't think, and there hasn't been overlay. People want to go to the Dog Bowl. They know what it's about now. Yeah, I think there was a little confusion early in the year last year. There was finicking and messing around with price points. People didn't really know what they were getting into. It wasn't made abundantly clear until they made like a hype video for it, like halfway through the season. Whereas this year, people came in and they're like, I'm fucking going to the dog bowl. Like, I'm getting this year. So I think that is the biggest difference year over year as to why there isn't like that crazy promo. It just hasn't been needed. People genuinely want to win this thing. People want to go to the dog bowl. People want to chase the dream of live final success. They want the John Keurig hold the check up moment, the drink out of the dog bowl of the rum and coke that I ordered 2 seconds before and just dumped in. Man, people want to meet John. There you go. People want to see the shirt off, swing over the head in live fashion. Actually, last year was really funny to reset a story that I probably told a long time ago. But Kyle Pitts, all week we talked about the Desmond Ritter doubles, me and Pete. Desmond Ritter doubles in the dog bowl. That's what we were talking about. Small field, stack it up. Desmond Ritter scroll the F down free in the last round. And the very first touchdown of the dog bowl is Desmond Ritter to Kyle fucking Pitts. And stand up and Kyle Pitts spicy marks for the crowd. The Kyle Pitts spicy marks live. There you go. Crutches remembers. Oh, it was so good. Who poured the drink in the bowl? It was I. It was I who did so. I had to make sure that the champ was well hydrated. Out of the old dog bowl. Let's do one toe drag Tuesday and then call it a show. I have not looked at this slate at all whatsoever. I would do another dog bowl, but Mr. Goodboy, as you can see, just made his venture from the back there, and I got some real life stuff to take care of. Looking at this slate, holy wingers, man. Of the ADP in the first, 10 slots or whatever, all wingers here. And then Joel Eriksson Ek, we'll have to take a peek at Daily Faceoff there and see if Joel Eriksson Ek is playing alongside that first line. They were mixing and matching for a bit there with Kaprizov. They were doing, let me take a look here. This is it's kind of annoying that I'm jumping back and forth here. Okay. Let's go back to the other browser so that everybody can see. Obviously go listen to DJ Sabes and Matt Moody for the Morning Skate pod there. Probably walked through this all. Yeah, Marco Rossi's still on that first line there. Just wondering why Joel Eriksson Ek is popping like this. But he is PP line 1. So you get a little bit of correlation there with the Kaprizov drafter. So that's probably what's going down for people. But I'm sure GA in the chat could give us a little more than just my bro science on that. There you go. Blake's got some meta for us. Kirill's getting double shifted a lot. So he's playing with basically everyone. That's awesome. I love when good hockey players play more hockey. Good stuff. Nucky's had a barn burner last night. They're down 3-1. Came back. Forced overtime. Then didn't even touch the puck in overtime. All right. Let's see what the thought leader, Sam Olsen, decides to do here. Philadelphia versus Boston. Doesn't feel like a fun game to be aping into there. Let me take a look. I know that all my homies are going to tell me they hate tendies and that the tendies don't matter. The tendies don't matter until they do matter. Okay, Ullmark's back for like his second game, I guess. Matt Boldy would be an easy click here with Eriksson Ek. Matthew Barzell would be good BC boy. All right, let's take Barzell for the bid equity. Good BC boy. Gets the Ducks tonight. Islanders have been pretty ass to start this year. We're going to start scrolling early, as we're prone to do. Reminder of, let's make the pick first, and then we'll let it be known. Matt Boldy versus Pittsburgh on a nice little run here. 7 shots on goal. Wow. Couple blocks and a hit. But as we're prone to do, we're going to do some scrolling in this one. I'm thinking through some combos that we can put together. I think we're going to do Kyrou. Let's do Jordan Kyrou. couple goals in the first game of the season, and then just not a couple goals in the first game of the season, and then just not much since. So let's hope he gets it going tonight. Woolmark's obviously tough Tandy to get it going against, but we got to start scrolling because we know we're not going to play a ton of entries. So this is the evergreen reminder. This is what Brendo said in the Discord the other day, was just like the evergreen reminder that's like we got to find a contrarian path if we are not playing a large sum of entries, and we got to treat this lineup as binary outcome. This is 0 or first, baby, and we are going to be the only team in this contest with this lineup. We are going to find a way to get weird with it. Yeah. Yeah, Crutches ponied up for the bid equity. It was a good bit too. It was good. He was waiting for a good bit to pony up, and in fact, it was a very good Discord bit as to why he joined up. It was quite clever. Probably not safe for work as to why. Brock Nelson down here, man. Bo Horvat's off to a tough start right here, but he would be another first line plus a little PPE correlation to add there if everybody's going the Nelson route, which to an extent, rightfully so, at this point in time. Fiala, nobody's taken a defenseman yet. I think if we end up getting a defenseman in Dobson to come back to us here, I think we just take Noah Dobson for the Barzell correlation, though it will be highly owned. Just because it's so easy to do. Maybe we got to think a little more outside the box there. Yeah, we got to think a little more outside the box. All right, let's take Ovi. PP1, relentless shooting, still hits guys, and negatively correlates or positively correlates against going against a high-owned goalie. Let's take Ovi, and then let's see if we can land this plane with a little correlation. I think the smartest ways available will be to take John Carlson and take Bo Horvat, something like that. I think Carlson will get drafted more frequently. So maybe we want to scroll. We want to scroll more. Let's take Horvat, put him with Barzell. What they need is a game against the Ducks to get off the schneid. They had a good one. I guess it was 2 games ago. Islanders looked okay. We could have done like Robert Thomas there, put him with the Kyrou, but they've been mix and matching those lines a lot for the Blues so far to start the season. Let's see what we got in terms of line combos as of right now. The Blues. What are we going with tonight? Yeah, so they're not playing together right now, and that's because Thomas is hurt. There you go. So we just learned. Yeah. All right. We just learned. Kyrou's going to be playing by himself. Nez still needs to live up to the paywall promise. Yankees lineup just came out, and Jazz is hitting 4th tonight. They are grasping at fucking straws. Man, that's such a shame. Such a shame of a dud World Series here. Carlson comes all the way back to us. It feels like a fine click. I was trying to get a little more creative here. Yeah, let's get a little more creative. Let's get Justin Folk on PP1 there. Is he on PP1? Let me confirm. I'm scrolling. Oh my goodness, I'm scrolling and nothing's happening. All right, we got Carlson. I was scrolling out here and nothing was happening. What is going on with this website? Yeah, Justin Folk's on PP1 there. We could have got a little Kyrou correlation that would be a little less owned than the chalk that we just aped into with Carlson and Ovi. But we got Kyrou as a one-off, and we scrolled a whole bunch. So that makes me feel good. And then we're going to scroll the F down at the Tendy position. Logan Thompson tonight. Pair it up with some of our Washington stuff. We know he's in there for sure. There we go. Matthew Barzal, Jordan Kyrou, Alex Ovechkin, Bo Horvat, John Carlson, Logan Thompson. Not bad. Not bad. Kenny Lewis dropping by. Freaking love the BadgeBros. Elite at life. Mad respect. Mad respect. Thank you. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the love. Not sure I should be classified elite at life, but I try. Sure as fuck elite at having fun. Elite at thinking through these games and scrolling a lot. Elite at enjoying myself in the confines of this beautiful platform. How about that? I'll bring up the puck one just so we can all skybox. I don't think I've ever told a skybox story here. Skybox is my term for looking in on something, aka we used to use it in poker when a guy was like skyboxing your cards. I'd say like, yo, watch out for the skybox to like a buddy who's on the other side of the table when we were playing live. When you're looking at your cards and someone's looking over your shoulder, we would call it skyboxing. Yeah. Anyways, who gives a fuck? Yeah. So let's skybox Sam Wilson's lineup here to see what he was cooking up. Got some good players in here. Seedmeister as well. Seedmeister going with a full-on Montreal. Wow. Full-on Montreal stack. 5 Habs. And then Marc-Andre Fleury. We mixed and matched a little bit. Sam Olsen eats a little bit of ADP value at the wing position there. And then scrolls down and pairs it with some Ottawa stuff. Dostal in net. He's been good this year. Well, sort of. Anaheim's been slightly better than I thought they'd be this early. Anthony goes with PP1 from the Rangers. Stacks it up with the Tendy. One-off Sid the Kid. Saw Sid the Kid live on Saturday night there. Dear God, man. Prices are ridiculous for tickets these days. They are insane. It was more expensive to see Sid the Kid on Saturday night in Vancouver than it was to go to game 1 of the Edmonton series in the playoffs last year. More expensive on a Saturday night for Sidney Crosby than McDavid game 1 in the playoffs. Fucking ridiculous. Insane. Jacking up the prices all over the place. Eggers goes with this Kirill double shifting narrative. Joel Eriksson Ek paired in there. Sorokin has Tendy 1 for the night. Adds Matt Zuccarello, who's on his line. Gets a ADP fall on Noah Dobson. So he takes it and then adds a one-off Claude Giroux. Not bad. Not bad. Like this Brent Clark little stack up with Fiala by Gut P. Like that. Cheeky little power play. Some well-crafted, intelligent lineups out here. Well done. Well done. All right. Eggers, drop your Twitter handle. I don't know it, so that's the only reason I haven't followed you back, or else I would. I follow back all the members of the community. If I don't follow you back, tell me so. And I think my DMs are open, to be honest. Just go ahead and DM me, and I will go ahead and follow you back, or leave your Twitter handle in the comments below. That's all she wrote, my friends. Thank you for sticking it out. Hour 45 of some off-the-cuff football, an hour of NBA, and some puck to end it all. All right. Josh, I'll follow you back right now. All right. We will be back tomorrow. Nez will be here. It's my birthday tomorrow. Yeah. And who cares? We don't care about birthdays at this advanced age of life, but it is my birthday tomorrow. So I'll have some extra good energy, maybe a little Irish in the coffee. Little early. But yeah, we will do the definitive preview, NFL tomorrow. Best of luck, NBA streets tonight. Keep your ear to the ground with some of the news that could come down the pipeline here. Jamal Murray being the biggest of the bunch. Keep your eyes on any Nuggets. Starters watch is what they call it on ETR. If we got any jersey nuggets of who could potentially be starting, because if they play small in that Pelicans and Warriors game, that's going to tell us a lot. Keep an eye out for good Canadian kid Andrew Wiggins, to see if he plays tonight. Thank you. Thank you, E. White. Thank you. Early HBDs out here. Don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. No big plans yet. Last night was low-key a little get-together with some of the buddies there. And the hockey game on Saturday night was as well. But we will see. All right. On behalf of myself, the good people at Underdog Fantasy, and my friend Nez, I'm looking for the outro. Damn it. Screwed it up. There we go. Let's go with the classic outro. Everybody's favorite time of the show. The end. Please hit that like and subscribe. Peace.